Hey everyone, I thought I would jump on here really fast to give you an update. I just finished eating um, the turkey burger um, for dinner. It's Monday, um, and I have been here at this particular hospital since Sunday. So when I arrived, I felt like crap and I looked like crap. So I was actually able today to get up to take a shower and do something with my hair. So I thought since I looked halfway decent that I would come on and, kind of fill you in on what's been going on. I know there's probably a lot of questions. It wasn't that I didn't want to answer anyone. I just was not in the mood to answer anyone or to really give any explanation. Truthfully, I don't think I have used my phone pretty much at all this past week simply because I have the flu, so that in itself, I've never had the flu, so that in itself was something new to deal with. Then on top of everything else that was going on, which I'm now about to explain. I'm going to try to keep this video as minimal as possible, but long enough to give you all of the information up to today. So without further ado, if you want to find out what's been happening to me, stay tuned. So, okay, I started in February with feeling pain. I don't know that I mentioned it here on YouTube, but I did post it on my Instagram that I had been dealing with a lot of unexplainable joint pain and inflammation and swelling. So if you're not subscribed to my Instagram channel, it's The Life I'm Trying to Love, then you should go ahead and head on over there right now. Hit that follow button. I'll wait. You can go do that now if you want. I'll be here. But anyway, so no, I've been kind of updating my Instagram because I just was not in the mood to film videos. But again, so like I was saying, it started in February. I had a lot of unexplained inflammation, swelling, redness, stiffness. The amount of pain that I in was on some days was just truly unbearable. But I am stubborn by nature, so I didn't go to the doctor immediately. In fact, the only reason I actually went to the doctors was because the over-the-counter pain medications stopped working. So the pain drove me to the hospital. So, they initially thought, okay, well, you have a chronic inflammatory, or that was the initial diagnosis. Of course, I was given, pain meds and follow up with your doctor. So I did that. I was taking the pain meds and I followed up with my doctor, and then my doctor, that's a whole separate video. If I include what happened with him in this video, you'll be here for an hour. So I'm going to actually record that experience in a separate video. So make sure you stay tuned and hit the little notification bell so that way you're aware of when I upload that video as well. So anywho, let's just say that the doctor's visit didn't go as planned. So I was, got the pain meds. I was going home. I was trying to cope with it. Things were, kind of iffy or whatever. So, but the one thing I noticed was that, so okay, I'm sorry. I kind of jumped ahead. I was all of February. I finally went to the hospital in March. And so, because, yeah, this is April. I had a brain fart just now. So now I was putting up with it in terms of, trying to deal with the pain, taking the pain medication and what have you. Um, so, um, I'm sorry, something just popped up on my phone and it caused me to lose my whole chain of thought. Okay, so anyway, that was the end of February. So March, so I noticed that as March progressed, the pain, the swelling, the inflammation was getting worse. It was not getting better. So I was at my wit's end on what to do. So once again, I just was like, okay, well, maybe this is just a flare up or something, and hopefully it'll pass or whatever, but it just never did. So finally, this past week, what finally brought me here back to the hospital was me being determined to advocate for myself, because I really felt like nobody was listening to me. Nobody was comprehending the amount of pain that I had been in. If you're a chronic pain sufferer, then I'm talking to you people. I'm talking to you because I know that you, from a chronic pain sufferer standpoint, you understand what I'm saying. For the non-chronic pain sufferers, I need you to pay close attention here, because this is where it becomes important when a person says to you that this is what's going on with their body. Don't be dismissive of them. Don't try to come up with your remedy. Because you truly do not understand what chronic pain feels like. So when I say that I was literally in pain every single day, 24 hours a day, around the clock pain, from February up until I made it back to the hospital for the third time. Because if you remember one of my previous videos, I had posted that I had gone to ER back to back. So I could not, or I felt like I could not get people to understand what I was saying. I wasn't getting family to understand. I wasn't getting medical professionals to understand. I certainly wasn't getting that quack of a doctor to understand. So I went back to the hospital to advocate for me to basically demand that they do something with what was going on, to explain to me what is going on with my body. I was told that, that's what the follow-up, that's what's going to your primary care doctor is supposed to do. And I said, no, I went from walking perfectly fine, living perfectly fine life in the sense that I was healing, I was getting better. I was doing stuff to barely being able to walk. I couldn't make a fist. I couldn't bend my knees. I was starting to fall. I was starting to lose my balance. That's not a follow-up. That is an emergency room, an emergency room situation. Like, I'm in the emergency room and I'm here and I'm not leaving until you tell me why in February I was walking and now here in April I'm not. So, yeah. So I actually had to argue with the ER doctor, and practically threatened to sue them, for them to finally say, okay, admit her. They punished me though, because when it was all said and done, they left me in the ER. Well, not just me. It wasn't personal in the sense that I was the only one that they left there, but I mean, the punishment was I was one of maybe 12 people that they left sitting in the ER for more than 12 hours. There was myself and another lady who I arrived, I think, an hour after she did, and we were both sitting in the same, in the ER, practically in the same positions the next morning. But anyway, all of that was, I say the sacrifice for me to be able to find out that, the symptoms. So without, after all of the tests and everything were ran, they discovered that I have a viral infection, that I have a UTI, and then on top of that, I contracted the flu. So I've never had the flu before, so this flu stuff is new for me. And I never want to do it again. One time is one time too many for me. Anybody who's had the flu, hats off to you, because I don't know how y'all suffer the flu every year or more than once or whatever the case may be. And if you've never had the flu, then hey, I used to be that person too. But anywho, so the reason I'm here at Rehab is because with everything that has gone on in my body, even though I don't have any new stroke symptoms, there's no new stroke activity. Everything is pretty much still the same from the previous stroke from last year. But it kind of set me back. So I'm weak. I feel like a baby doe trying to learn how to walk again. So balance and walking are still an issue for me. I still have left side weakness, which is, of the stroke, and then I have right side pain. So the right side was the side I depended on because the left side was weak. Well, I don't really have my right side because it's in pain, and I don't have my left side because it's weak. So I'm back here in rehab to rebuild those muscles and to work through the pain. So now, I can actually make a fist that doesn't cause me to cry out in pain. So since being in the hospital, I've been excuse me. I have not quite been like totally pain free, but I'm certainly not in the amount of pain that caused me to come to the hospital in the first place. So we're at 12 minutes. I said I was going to try to keep this video about 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But my goal is to record as much as I can here in the rehab. I don't know how much they'll allow me to record my physical therapy. I had a speech therapy, but I don't need her anymore. So now I just have occupational therapy and physical therapy. So I'm going to try to hope that they will allow me to record as much of my session without including the other members, so that you'll get a look at that. So other than that, right now I am on isolation because I have the flu and they don't want me contaminating the rest of the hospital. So everybody that comes into my room has to wear a mask, full hazmat gear basically. I have been put on like a 5-day hold. So I got excused from gym simply because I have the flu. But as soon as this clears up, then I'll start with the rehab. And so I'll certainly try to, like I said, include you guys in that as much as I possibly can. Oh, and I do have this little thingamabobby here. I guess this is considered a midline. Lord, don't look at all my bruises. But this is coming out tonight, so that's a good thing. And other than that, so that's pretty much it. I am going to go ahead and bring this video to a close. And so I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.